Could the use of the darkening methods be responsible for a lot of the problems in young pigeons, such as young bird sickness, heavy losses? The impact of sunlight exposure and vitamin D synthesis on the health and performance of racing pigeons is an important topic that deserves thorough examination. There are compelling reasons to believe that the use of darkening methods and limited sunlight may be responsible for many problems observed in young pigeons, including young bird sickness, heavy losses, and suboptimal development. By restricting exposure to natural sunlight, pigeon fanciers could inadvertently be denying their birds a vital component for overall well-being. Vitamin D. This critical vitamin is not only essential for calcium metabolism and bone health, but serves diverse roles related to immunity, behavior, hormones, feathers, and athletic performance in racing pigeons. A deeper look at the multifaceted benefits of sunlight and vitamin D synthesis reveals why sufficient access could make a major difference in raising robust, healthy pigeons capable of excellence in racing and competition. Vitamin D is best obtained naturally from sunlight. While supplements can provide vitamin D, experts agree that the best source is sunlight. When the skin is exposed to UVB rays, it initiates the synthesis of vitamin D precursors. Racing pigeons naturally synthesize vitamin D3 when sunlight hits their feathers and feet. This ability to self-produce vitamin D from sunlight likely evolved as a survival mechanism in birds. Supplementing food with vitamin D is an option, but it lacks the bioavailability of the vitamin D synthesized in the body from sunlight. Exposure to sunshine provides benefits beyond just vitamin D production. The sun's rays also have direct immune-enhancing and mood-boosting effects. Therefore, ample access to direct sunlight should be considered a fundamental part of responsible pigeon keeping. The sunshine vitamin. Why vitamin D matters. Vitamin D is aptly nicknamed the sunshine vitamin. But why does this vitamin matter so much for racing pigeon health and performance? Its most well-established role is regulating calcium absorption and bone health. Vitamin D enables the intestines to absorb calcium from food and controls calcium concentrations in the bloodstream. It also promotes bone growth and strength by regulating phosphorus levels. That is why vitamin D deficiency can lead to soft, brittle bones in birds. But vitamin D impacts much more than just bone health. Researchers are still discovering the extensive influence this single vitamin has throughout the body. From boosting immunity to aiding hormones and reproduction, vitamin D is proving to be one of the most versatile and vital micronutrients for avian wellness. The skeletal system and rickets. Strong, resilient bones are foundational for racing pigeons. The extreme physical demands of racing put substantial stress on their skeletal system. Pigeons with weak, brittle bones will be unable to withstand the forces, motion, and impacts of racing and intense flights. That is why vitamin D is so important for developing a robust, healthy skeleton in growing pigeons. Vitamin D maintains calcium and phosphorus levels needed for proper bone mineralization. Without it, bones can fail to harden properly. In young birds, vitamin D deficiency can lead to rickets, a disorder where the bones become rubbery and soft. This causes bone pain, muscle weakness, joint swelling, and skeletal deformities like beak malformation. Rickets hampers growth and prevents pigeons from reaching their athletic potential. Ensuring adequate vitamin D prevents this detrimental bone disease. The immune system. In addition to skeletal health, vitamin D also plays a major role in regulating the immune system. It helps stimulate and modulate innate and adaptive immunity in birds. Immune cells throughout the body have vitamin D receptors. When vitamin D binds to these receptors, it enhances the ability of the cells to mount defenses against microbes. Vitamin D shifts immunity towards more antimicrobial responses and inflammation control. Through these immune-modulating mechanisms, vitamin D helps pigeons fight off infections. Research confirms that vitamin D deficiency leaves pigeons more susceptible to bacterial, viral, and parasitic diseases. Sufficient vitamin D provides protection, while deficiency impairs immune function and makes illness more likely. Mood and behavior. Sunlight's positive effects on mood and behavior are well established in humans. Avian specialists also report benefits of sunlight exposure for pigeon disposition. Sunlight exposure and associated vitamin D synthesis may play roles in regulating neurotransmitters, hormones, and circannual cycles in pigeons. Pigeons kept with plentiful access to direct sunlight tend to be calmer and more active. They display more engagement in exploring, flying, socializing, and exercise compared to pigeons housed without sunlight. Light-deprived pigeons are more irritable, anxious, and prone to feather-damaging behaviors. Access to daylight provides mental stimulation and aligns their active phases with human day-night cycles. In terms of training and handling, vitamin D levels may also impact how well pigeons bond with their keepers and how readily they take to coaching. Additionally, Many experts notice sunbathed pigeons exhibiting higher libido, aggression, and territoriality during the breeding season, which are positive traits for successful propagation. Overall, daylight has far-reaching positive behavioral impacts that translate into better racing performance. Hormones and reproduction. Research over the past few decades reveals that vitamin D interacts with several hormonal pathways in birds. Its hormone-regulating functions have implications for stress response, development, molting, and reproduction in pigeons. Vitamin D helps regulate the hypothalamic-pituitary-adrenal axis, influencing how pigeons react to stresses like racing. It also plays roles in gonadal hormone production and sperm quality in males. In females, vitamin D aids egg production and the mobilization of calcium for eggshell formation. Overall, optimal vitamin D levels support the avian endocrine system and promote greater reproductive success. Deficiencies are linked to poorer semen quality, lower fertilization, and reduced hatching rates. By contributing to hormones and reproduction, vitamin D helps sustain high-performing racing pigeon colonies. Feather quality. Feather condition directly impacts flying ability, temperature regulation, and competitive performance in racing pigeons. The role vitamin D plays in keratin expression and feather growth highlights the importance of sunlight for plumage health. Researchers have identified vitamin D receptors within feather follicles in avian skin. Vitamin D binds to these receptors and stimulates the production of keratin proteins, the key structural proteins that make up feathers. Insufficient vitamin D can reduce keratin mRNA expression. With lower keratin levels, new feathers may be brittle and prone to breaking. Weaker feathers affect insulation and cause drag during flight. Vitamin D deficiency also negatively influences the molting cycle. By supporting feather growth and quality at the molecular level, sunlight helps maintain pigeon feathering in peak racing condition. Enhancing physical performance. The benefits of vitamin D for bone strength and immunity certainly contribute to better physical performance. But researchers have identified mechanisms by which vitamin D directly aids muscle and athletic function. One study found vitamin D supplementation increased muscle force production in pigeons by 23 to 25%. Vitamin D receptors are present in avian skeletal muscle cells. Vitamin D enhances oxygen delivery, stimulates muscle cell growth, regulates calcium for contractions, and protects against inflammatory muscle damage. These biological roles translate to tangible impacts on flight dynamics. Pigeons with sufficient vitamin D demonstrate greater speed, endurance, maneuverability, and overall race performance. Optimizing vitamin D benefits muscle fitness and gives pigeons a competitive edge. Seasonal considerations. Outdoor pigeon fanciers must factor in seasonal changes in sunlight exposure. During summer, pigeons receive abundant sunlight and can actively synthesize ample vitamin D with full access to sunshine. But the short days and limited daylight of winter can inhibit vitamin D synthesis. Indoor pigeons housed in darkened lofts year-round are also vulnerable to vitamin D deficiency since they lack exposure to direct sunshine. Winter and indoor conditions warrant monitoring vitamin D levels and providing dietary supplementation when sun-derived vitamin D is inadequate. Adjustments to artificial lighting may also be beneficial. Preventing deficiency. Given the many systems vitamin D influences, deficiency can devastate pigeon health and performance. Unfortunately, vitamin D deficiency is extremely common, especially in pigeons lacking sunlight. Poor bone health, suppressed immunity, lethargy, poor feathering, reduced reproduction, and suboptimal racing times are just some of the issues caused by vitamin D deficiency. Ensuring adequate sunlight exposure and vitamin D levels can prevent these problems and support overall well-being. Testing vitamin D levels can identify deficiencies. Experts recommend testing at the end of winter when levels are lowest. Supplementing feed, modifying lighting, and increasing sunlight access can correct any deficiencies. Monitoring and maintaining optimal vitamin D status should be part of every pigeon keeper's management plan. Balancing sunlight and shade. Maximizing the benefits of sunlight must be balanced with shade provision. While vitamin D needs direct sun exposure, pigeons also need retreats from heat and bright light. Access to dappled sunlight provides the best of both worlds. Pigeons likely self-regulate their sunlight exposure based on their vitamin D needs. Monitoring for signs of heat stress or photosensitivity will determine if any modifications are required. Adjust perch positioning, awnings, plant cover, and indoor access to find the right equilibrium between sunshine and shade. Vitamin D, just one piece of proper care. While vitamin D is undeniably important, it must be considered as just one part of holistic pigeon care. No vitamin alone can act as a magic bullet. Pigeons need balanced nutrition, ample space, sanitation, exercise, social enrichment and more. Vitamin D works synergistically with these other factors to promote vigor and performance. An integrated approach ensures racing pigeons receive all the nutrients, conditions, and care required to thrive. Vitamin D serves a powerful purpose, but must not overshadow other critical husbandry practices. When the complete needs of pigeons are met, they will be poised for success. Concluding thoughts. In summary, ample evidence indicates sunlight and vitamin D are integral to the robust health and peak athletic abilities of racing pigeons. While following tradition is understandable, avian science makes a compelling case against restrictive artificial darkening. Providing plentiful access to natural sunlight supports vitamin D needs, benefiting the skeletal system, immunity, mood, hormones, feathers, and overall performance. Modifying facilities to allow sunlight exposure offers a feasible way to leverage these advantages. By acknowledging the expanding knowledge of vitamin D's importance for birds, pigeon fanciers can adopt even better practices. Thoughtfully designed sunny lofts and paddocks can harmonize time-tested animal husbandry with new scientific insights. The result will be vibrant flocks of vigorous, resilient racing pigeons prepared for excellence. There are many reasons to buy my racing pigeon method. Here are some of the best reasons. You will get excellent results. It's a very simple system to use. It's affordable. I have had over 400 first prize winners. It's adaptable to any situation. You can use it with any racing method, natural, widowhood, young birds. It's a very effective method. There is no need to spend a lot of money on fancy pigeon products. It's a reliable system and it is foolproof to use. Professional athletes, race horses, take the same products. There is science behind this, not just hearsay. It is all to do with red blood cells and oxygen in the blood. Without that, a pigeon will not race well, or an athlete will not win a race. If he has low oxygen in his blood, the above is fact and is 100% science. There are a few things you can do to improve your chances of winning at racing pigeons. One of the most important things is to learn as much as you can about the sport. You'll need to know the different types of pigeons, how to train them, and how to race them. Another key factor is practice. You'll need to be able to fly your pigeons competently in order to win races. And, of course, you'll need to have the funds to invest in racing pigeons and other racing equipment.